Hey everyone, my name is Wes. This is Interactive English, and our channel, it's all about just helping you practice and improve your English skills. And today I want to help you improve your grammar. Well, not really just grammar, but also I think speaking and writing, because this lesson is going to be a quiz lesson. It's going to be a grammar quiz, but it's going to be a quiz about articles in English. So I'm talking about the articles a, and, the, and no article as well. Often, I think in grammar books, you may see people use this symbol, this theta symbol, when they want to represent that no article is used. So what we're going to do, I said this is a quiz lesson, so I'm going to give you a bunch of different sentences, and I just want you to complete the sentence with the correct article. You're going to use either a, and, the, or no article. And if you can just say no article instead of trying to use that theta symbol. But I said that this is grammar, but it's good for your speaking and writing fluency as well, because it's really about being more accurate and using the language correctly. Now, I'll give you a few moments. I'll give you a moment to answer the question, and then afterwards, I'll tell you what the rule is, because when you're talking about articles, often there are rules that you should follow. Now, I will say that I don't think it's necessary to memorize the rules, because I think the best way to learn articles is more reading, more listening, and more practice, which is exactly what we're going to do today. And the more you do that, you're just going to start using these articles correctly and naturally. You're not really going to have to think about, well, what is the rule? So that's why I would say that even if you're unsure about one of these questions about, well, which article should I use? Try to do what feels right. Just take a guess. Think about what feels right, and often I think that is the correct answer. So let's begin with this question right here and that blank spot. And I'd say, that's great. This is something I might tell you. I'd say, that's great. You want to learn English. So what are you going to use in that blank? Which article are you going to use? A, and, the, or no article? What do you think? And I will say that when you're trying to think about, well, which is the correct article, look at the noun that follows the article, because our articles are essentially adjectives. They modify those nouns. So look at that noun, and I think that's going to help you. All right, excellent. Great job, Paolo, Anna, Lolly, Angela, excellent. You guys, it makes me think maybe you've seen this before, this question. All right, the answer is no article. So when you're talking about languages, we do not use articles before languages. If you're talking about English, French, German, Russian, Japanese, you are not going to use an article. And again, I've used that theta symbol. That theta symbol represents no article. The next question is, and I want you to put yourself in this situation. Pretend that you are at a restaurant and you are asking this question, and you say, excuse me, can you tell me where toilet is? All right. Which article would you use to complete that sentence? A, and, the, or no article? And again, the hint is, think about, you are in this situation. You're at a restaurant and you ask this question. Excuse me, can you tell me where toilet is? All right, excellent. Perfect, Davika, Angela, Nilma, Lali, Estella, give some quick shout outs. The answer is the. Excuse me, can you tell me where the toilet is? And in this situation specifically, I'm talking about a restaurant. You use the when you assume there is only one of something. So if you're at a restaurant, you assume there's probably just one toilet for men, there's one toilet for women. And you would ask the question and use the. Now, if, for example, you are in like a large building or a shopping mall, and there is probably more than one toilet, then you are going to use the article a toilet, or you could say a toilet. Either pronunciation is correct. But when you assume there's only one, you're going to use the. The next one is this woman right here. I would say, just talking about her job, she works as university professor. All right, she works as university professor. All right, what are you going to use to complete that sentence? A, an, the, or no article. Okay, so think about, again, I told you to think about the noun, but you're also, in this case, you need to consider that adjective, the word university, because it's describing which type of professor. And the reason why that you need to consider that adjective is because of the sound that comes after the article. So what do I mean by that? The correct answer is A. She is a university professor, or you could say she is a university professor. Either pronunciation is correct. I tend to use and just say that schwa sound. She's a university professor. And we use a before non-specific nouns. It's professor, it could be any professor, that begin with a consonant sound, okay? So I told you you have to think about university because that is the next sound that you hear. When you think about the rule with a and an, many people think, oh, look at the letter. Is it a consonant letter or a vowel? And that's going to tell you the answer. It really depends on the sound. If it's a consonant sound that follows the article, you're going to use a. If it's a vowel sound, you're going to use a. So even though it is a U is a vowel, the letter, it's a consonant sound, that university. All right, the next one. All right, and if you're joining us, we are doing a grammar quiz on English articles. I want you to complete the sentence with either a, an, the, or no article. So this is true. This is something that I think I've said before. And I would say, one day I hope to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Okay? So what are you going to use to complete that sentence? A, an, the, or no article. We're talking about a mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro. It is a proper noun. So if we're talking about mountains, yes, excellent. Lolly, Angela, Sleepwalker, we are not going to use an article before the names of mountains. So when you are giving the name and using the proper noun, Mount Kilimanjaro or Mount Everest, you are not going to use an article before that name. This is one of those rules that, again, you don't need to memorize the rule, but just the more you see sentences like this and you say to yourself, okay, one day I hope to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, the next time you are talking about a mountain and you say the name, you're just going to naturally, you're not going to use an article. All right, so no article before the names of mountains. Let's look at the next one, which is this. This is a little trivia question for you too. All right, what is most northern capital city in the world? And I'm going to give you the real answer to this. So what is most northern capital city in the world? Which article or no article are you going to use to complete that sentence? A, an, the, or no article. Okay, so the key word in there, I think, is most. All right, excellent. Bobby, Estela, Lali, Davika, Farat. The answer is the. All right, and I said the key word is, where is it? Whoops, wait a second. What's going on? Oh, here we are. Sorry. Show you the next one. The key word is most because when you're talking about superlatives, you're going to use the article the most beautiful, the most incredible, or even if you're talking about like those shorter superlatives, the fastest, the smelliest, the dirtiest, all right? And the answer, this is true, the most northern capital city in the world is Reykjavik, Iceland, all right? So that's a little trivia question for you. So when you're talking about superlatives, you are going to use the. All right. The next question that I have for you is this one right here. And this is where I used to live. All right. Would you like to visit Golden Gate Bridge? Okay. So I'm talking about another name. It is a proper noun. Would you like to visit Golden Gate Bridge? So again, when you're thinking about those rules, I'm talking about the name of a bridge. What do you think you're going to use? What article? A and the or no article. All right. Excellent. Paulo, Sleepwalker, Eloisa, be happy. The correct answer is the. When you're talking about the names of bridges, you're going to use the article the Golden Gate Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, where I live in Budapest, in Hungary. The most famous bridge, there's that superlative, the most famous bridge is the Chain Bridge. And you're going to use the before the names of bridges. So again, these are rules like the before bridge names. You're going to use, well, no article before the names of mountains. So these are rules that the more you practice, the more you read, the more you listen, you're just going to start to remember this information. So this one, now I'm going to throw a few at you with two options in there. So there are two blanks. What do you think? A and the or no article. Largest lake in North America is Lake Superior. All right. Which article, A and the or no article, would you use correctly to correctly complete this sentence? All right. So write your answers in the chat. I want you guys to participate. So there are two that you need to complete for this one. So yes, excellent. Zanat, Farat, Rosi, Lali Close. So again, that first one we've talked about. The answer is the and no article. So we talked about that first one when we're saying superlatives. The largest lake in North America is Lake Superior. You will not use an article before the names of lakes. Lake Superior, if you're talking about Lake Malawi, which I think is the largest lake in the world. But again, when you're talking about the names of lakes, no article, all right? So let's look at the next one right here. Again, there's two different ones that I want you to complete. And this is something like you're telling a story. Think of this as like storytelling. And this is something we do in everyday conversation if we're talking to a friend, a family member, a colleague, and we may be telling a story about something that happened during the day. And in this case, this is not an exciting story. It's kind of just starting out. I say, here is a man standing next to plant. There is a ladybug on plant. All right. It's kind of a boring story, but I'll tell you why this is useful in just a moment. So what two articles would you use to complete this story, these sentences, so that it's correct? All right. Here is a man standing next to plant. There is a ladybug on plant. Excellent. Perfect. Mahmoud, Anawat, Zinat. So, yeah, Sleepwalker. The way you would say is, here is a man standing next to a plant. There is a ladybug on the plant. I know that in the picture you can only see there's only one plant. So maybe you think, oh, that's specific. But if you're talking about a story, and that's why I wanted to reference this in relation to storytelling, because you have the rule of first mention is what it's called, or you could just say you use a or a the first time that something is mentioned. So when you're talking about a story and you mention something for the first time, you're going to use a or a. That like here is a plant. The next time that you mention it, the second mention, you're going to use the. And the reason for that is because The first time you say something, it could be just non-specific. You could be talking about any plant. The second time you mention that same thing, it then becomes specific. So you could think of it as the rule of first mention, you're going to use a or but when you mention it the second time, you're going to use the article the. So this is useful, I think, especially when you're talking about telling a story and talking about something that happened during your day. Like, oh, I was out walking and I saw a dog. And you wouldn't believe what the dog did. So even if you just listen to me right there, I used both a when I first mentioned the dog and then the dog when I mentioned it the second time. So very useful rule to follow. Then we have, okay, this one, I'm sorry, I couldn't think of, I wanted to use a name and I just used myself. It's a little weird looking at myself. I guess I feel a little vain right now putting all these pictures of myself up there. But I wanted to use a name, which is why I said this sentence. So, Wes always tries to create interesting lessons. Okay, typically I try to be a little self-deprecating in these lessons and make fun of myself. But I try to create some interesting lessons. So what do you think? Again, there's two blanks. So what are you going to use? A, and, the, or no article? Wes always tries to create interesting lessons. Okay? So I think if we're talking in this situation, we're talking about a name. All right, let me give you the rule. So we're going to use no articles before names. And this is a mistake that I hear learners make from time to time. They're talking about a specific person and people may want to use the, but when we're talking about the name of a person, there's no article. So I'd say Wes always tries to create interesting lessons because when you're talking about lessons, it is a plural count noun and it's non-specific as well. You're not going to use article. You're not going to use an article. So no article and no article. Okay. So it'd be like saying a plural count noun that's non-specific. If I say, for example, basketball players are tall. All right. I'm just referring to basketball players. It's a non-specific plural count noun, no article. I just say basketball players are tall, just making a statement. The next question that I have for you is this one. He's learning how to play tennis. Okay. So the noun, I told you guys to think about the noun that follows. So we're talking about tennis. It's a sport. So when you're thinking about sports, what do you think? Are you going to use an article, a and the, or maybe no article? All right. How would you best complete that sentence? He's learning how to play tennis. All right. I think, yes, excellent. Sleepwalker, Anna, Ragad, Ricardo, be happy, Farad. You guys, I think you nailed this one. He's learning how to play tennis. When we're talking about the names of sports or games, even if we're talking about games, you're not going to use an article. He's learning how to play tennis, or I play soccer, or I love to play Monopoly, the name of a game. There's no article before that. Then we have, this is an expression. A very, I think, well, a well-known expression in English. It's something that I think parents might say to children. What do you think? Apple a day keeps doctor away. So if you've heard this expression, you probably know which articles go in there, or maybe no article. What do you think? A, and, the, or no article? Apple a day keeps doctor away. All right. So again, I think you guys, well, actually, wow, I think I maybe tricked some of you with this one. Excellent. Angela, Eloisa. So we're talking about apple. It is, it starts with a vowel sound. So you're going to use and. The expression goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. All right. So and before non-specific count nouns that start with a vowel sound. the before specific nouns. The reason why I say specific is because when you're saying this expression, I think typically, well, people have a specific doctor. And that's what they're referring to when they say the expression. Because if you say a doctor, again, you'd be talking about any doctor. But people in general, they may have a doctor that they will regularly go see. So I think that's why in this case, doctor would be specific. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Good expression to know. And I guess it's true. Apples are good for us. All right, so what about this one? I used to listen to MP3 player when exercising. All right, I used to listen to MP3 player when exercising. We're talking about, I don't want to give, I almost said the answer. MP3 player, what are you going to use? Which article will you use before that? A, an, the, or no article. This is another one, I would say it's a little tricky because again, people tend to look at that letter, that consonant, that M before there. But yes, well, okay, well, something different. All right, now this one's a little trickier. The correct answer is an. We're talking about an MP3 player because again, it's use an before non-specific nouns that begin with a vowel sound. So if I'm just talking about somebody, it's just to somebody in general, like, oh, I used to listen to an MP3 player when exercising. It's really could be any MP3 player. If I wanted to be specific, then I'd say my MP3 player, and there would be no article. But in general, if it's non-specific, I'm going to use an because it begins with a vowel sound. When you say MP3, you're saying the individual letters, M, all right? So M starts with a vowel sound, an MP3 player. Let me give you another word to show you if I talk and say, I'm going to, I need to go to an embassy. Embassy starts with that same sound, an embassy. Or I work at an embassy. I'm going to use an, all right? So I think that one maybe was a little trickier, all right? Because again, trying to get you thinking, is it a vowel sound or is it a consonant sound? The next one, this is another one, two, all right? Or actually three, and some of it's a little review. Manny Pacquiao, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Maybe not. If you're from the Philippines, you can correct me. Manny Pacquiao, who is famous boxer, is not from Malaysia. He's from Philippines. Okay? What articles will you use to complete that sentence? Are those sentences? Fill in the blank with either a, an, the, or no article. All right? Manny Pacquiao, who is famous boxer, is not from Malaysia. He's from Philippines. All right? Excellent. Anna, Rossi. So the correct answer, I think, Savi, you can get that, it's a little longer. But Manny Pacquiao, who is a famous boxer, all right, just in general, like I said at the very beginning, we talked about someone who is a professor, who is a famous boxer, is not from Malaysia. No article when we talk about the names of countries. And this is a rule that applies to most countries. But he's from, wait, I made a mistake. I see it. It should be the Philippines. I forgot to add the in there. But it should be the Philippines, all right? I put it down there, but we use the before plural names. So countries with plural names, you're going to use the. And I think Philippines is probably one of the more famous, well-known countries with a plural name. I think there are 2 or 3 more. Maybe you guys can think of some. But for most countries, you're going to use no article, but you use the before countries with plural names. Or if you're talking about countries where it like names the type of state it is, or it's like a collective, a group. For example, the United States or the United Kingdom or the Republic of China, then you will also use the as well as before plural names. So I forgot over there. I forgot to write the when I said the Philippines. So, yes, that is a mistake. All right. And this one, if you enjoyed the lesson, please hit like button. What do you think? All right. How would you complete this sentence? All right. Yes, there are many rules, but like I said, don't worry too much about the rules. Just the more you read and listen and practice, like in this lesson, you're just going to learn them naturally. I wanted to give you a reminder about the rules, but this is the best way to learn them. So if you enjoyed the lesson, please hit like button. Talking about something, it's specific. There's only one. So the answer is yes, the. If you enjoyed this lesson, please hit the like button. And yes, if you guys enjoyed learning, practicing your grammar, then please hit the like button. Let me know so that in the future, I will continue. I'll do some more of these quiz lessons, and it's always a good way to review grammar. And I think it's a fun way to review grammar as well. So I hope that you enjoyed the lesson. I hope that you learned something new and were able to practice. And just to let you know, again, if you guys like what we do here at Interactive English, want to show us some love, support our channel, you can do so through YouTube memberships, Patreon. Saw some members who were in here today. Lali, Putri was here before, so see some people coming in and out. Patreon is also an option. There are links down in the description. So thank you guys for being here and joining me today. Finally, we got through the lesson. This was the third time that I tried today's lesson. I'm happy that it's worked out. And I just hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks so much for being here. And I will see you guys next time. So long.